Hi, I'm Kayla, the BookTube Turtle, and today I'm doing the mid-year book freakout tag. So this tag is basically just where are we at with our reading goals and whatnot at this point in the year, halfway through the year, and what do we still want to do? So we're just gonna get right into the questions. And question one is, what is the best book you have read so far this year? So my two favorite books this year overall is Dark Rise and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I keep going back and forth on which one is like number 1 and 2, because like Dark Rise was just like so good, and like the fantasy elements were so good, and it just like really set up this great like epic fantasy story. But Addie LaRue, like I cried so much reading that book, and I just had a really emotional roller coaster ride, which is why I'm also so attached to that one. So yeah, those are my two favorites of the year so far. Question 2 is, what is the best sequel you have read so far this year? So when I was looking at the list of books I've read this year, the only sequel I have read is Heartstopper, which is also a reread this year. But that's kind of the only thing I can go with because I haven't read any sequels. Really this year I've been reading a lot of books that I've been meaning to get to for a long time and I just haven't. So it's been a lot of like first books in the series or like standalone books and not sequels. What is a new release you haven't read yet but you want to? The Merciless Ones. I need to get this book. I read The Gilded Ones last year and it was one of my favorite books. It was so good, and I have been waiting for The Merciless Ones, and it came out at the end of May and I just haven't read it yet. I really need to. So that's definitely my answer for that one. Question 4 is, what is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? And I don't really have an answer for this one because I don't really know what's coming out the second half of the year. Like there's nothing like in particular where I'm just like dying without it, you know? I mean, I really cannot wait for the last book of the Last Hours trilogy, but I think we're getting that in January, or is it next March? I don't know, but it's not this year. But like I said, I've been really focusing on books that I've been taking a long time to get to. So it's just books that have already come out, and I own a lot of books that I haven't read yet. So I've been trying to work through that before I like get to other stuff. But yeah, I mean, there could be something that I'm like excited about that I just like is like not on my mind at the moment. But yeah, I'm just really focused on trying to read all of the things I want to read that have already been out for years. Question 5 is, what has been your biggest disappointment read of the year? And for me, it's definitely The Dark Matter of Mona Starr. This is a graphic novel. I talked about it in my May wrap-up, and I just really thought it was going to be like this really amazing story about like dealing with mental health and all of that stuff, and it just let me down so much. With just the way that it went and the issues that it had. So yeah, if you want more details on that, you can check out my wrap-up video where I talk more about it. Question 6 is, what is your biggest surprise so far this year? Definitely Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I don't think I've been saying any of the authors' names for these books that I've been listing off. It's okay. I tried to read this like a while ago and I just like was not into it. But then I read it again recently and I was like there for it. I was there. I was having so much fun with it. So I don't know, that was like, it was nice. It was nice. And it was just like a good like dystopian fantasy story, and I'm like really excited about the characters and to continue with the series. So it was definitely a nice surprise. Question 7 is, who is a new favorite author? This can be a debut author or a new author to you. I'm gonna go with Sabaa Tahir. I read An Ember in the Ashes earlier this year and I absolutely loved it. I've been meaning to read it forever and I just hadn't gotten to it. Again, that's been my focus this year. But I really loved her writing style and the story and the world, and it was just really good, and I'm very excited to read more books by her. Question 8 is newest fictional crush. Yeah, my little arrow brain, we can't do that. I just like cannot see characters that way. Like, I will ship characters with each other all day, but like I cannot with myself with characters. I just can't do it. So moving on, question 9, newest favorite character. I really like, see, my favorite characters so far this year have all been from rereads, so I feel like I can't say that. But like, I mean, I really love all the characters in Eliza and Her Monsters. It's my favorite book ever and I love it so much. I really like Henry and Alex from Red, White, and Royal Blue, which I'm currently rereading. As far as new characters, I really love Jordan and Dylan from The Temperature of You and Me, or is it The Temperature of Me and You? I get confused, but that book. And I really like Will and James from Dark Rise. Yes. Question 10 is, what is a book that made you cry? So I have 2 for this. I mean, I've probably teared up for multiple books, but like 2 books that like absolutely destroyed me. One, like I already said, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, which I read at the beginning of the year. Killed me. I cried a lot. And then the other one, which I also read in the beginning of the year, like in January, I think these were both in January, and it was just a month of tears, was One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. And that book was so good, and like it just, I lost it at a certain point. I was like, I am not okay. So yeah, those are 2 books that I cried the most on so far this year. I also cried rereading Eliza and Her Monsters, but I always cry when I read Eliza and Her Monsters, so like I don't think that counts. Question 11 is, what is a book that made you happy? So for this, I mean, a lot of the books I've read so far have made me happy, but a book that I haven't talked about yet is The Mysterious Benedict Society. This was like a book that I loved so much as a child, and it was just like so amazing and nostalgic to read it again this year. And so like it just brought me a lot of joy. Question 12 is, what is the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received? Oh, okay. So for this, I haven't bought many books this year because again, I've been reading what I have. But one book I did buy was Loveless by Alice Oseman, specifically the hardcover, because I already have the paperback. I got that as soon as it came out. I had it shipped from the UK. Yeah, it's just like I need this book in my life right now. But then we got the hardcover this year, and look at it. Like, it's so pretty. The front and the back, and like even like, look at this. Look at it. And it's purple because like that's the ace color, and it just brings me so much happiness, and I can't wait to reread this because I haven't read it since the story came out. So I want to reread the hardcover version, even though it's like the same book, but my paperback version is a little beat up because that's just how paperbacks be. So I'm really glad to also have this hardcover because then I can read it as many times as I want and it's not gonna get hurt. So yeah, but I just really love this cover. I love Alice Oseman's art style, and I'm just very excited about this. And the final question, question 13, is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So there's a lot. A few that I want to point out. I would like to finish the Three Dark Crown series. I have like 2 books left in that series, I think. Or do I have 3 books left? I'm not sure. Because I've been getting those books from the library and I haven't been to the library in a while. I know I checked one of them out and then I was like not feeling it yet. I was like, I need a break from this series for a minute, but I don't remember if that was book 3 or 4 and if I have 2 left or 3 left. I'm not sure. A couple books that I own and I would like to read sometime this year is King of Scars. I have this and Rule of Wolves. I haven't read them. I really need to. They're just, the books are so big and I just keep putting them off because of that. Which, like, comparatively, I've also been putting off the final Throne of Glass novel because that's like 1,000 pages long. So comparatively, King of Scars is like not that bad at all. But I just have to I feel like I need to be in the right mood for it and I haven't hit that yet, you know? I also want to read Warcross by Marie Lu. I started this book and I wasn't feeling it, so I started reading something else, but I I liked what I read of it, like the first few chapters. I just like, it wasn't the right time, you know? Like I was like, this is good and I want to continue reading, just like not right now. I'm such a mood reader. Like I don't think I used to consider myself a mood reader, but like I am. I'm very much a mood reader. And it's like I just have to be feeling it, and if I'm not, I'm just not gonna get through it. So yeah, those are some of the books that I hope to read before the year is over. Those were my answers to the mid-year book freakout tag. I am like almost, my goal this year is to read 50 books and I'm like almost at 25, so I'm like a little bit behind, but like it's fine, we'll catch up. I've just been going through periods of like reading slump and then like reading like 5 books at once and then like back to a reading slump, and it's just been back and forth. But we'll get there, we'll get there. So yeah, let me know what your favorite book you've read so far this year, what other books you still need to read, any of these other questions that you would like to answer in the comments, feel free to do so. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.